Hello humans, welcome back to another video, and my old FNF porting tutorial sucks, so I'm legally obligated to make this one. This video only covers the basics, so ask any questions in the comments about more advanced stuff. First thing you gotta do to port a mod is download it, because stuff like Gammaverse or KBH Games doesn't work. I already have the mod, so I didn't press cancel. You have to extract it. If it's a RAR file, you have to use WinRAR. I have WinRAR and 7-zip. I'm pretty sure 7-zip can't do RARs, so don't use 7-zips for RAR. Okay, because of course I can. I'm gonna chart the hardest song. Go in the chart editor by pressing 7, then press save. I usually put the JSONs in the downloads folder. Okay, wasn't supposed to thing, dang it. Okay, so now you have to find when the singing stops and then count how many beats after it is. The section is 4 beats. Okay, so that one's about 22 to 24 beats before ending. I'm just gonna do 22 beats before ending. And remember this beats before ending number for your song for later. Okay, now I'm actually gonna go to the Funkin song convert. Usually allow notes with without all modifications. If you don't do that, it usually doesn't work. Okay, that scroll speed is not fast at all. Okay, then the TXT, which is basically the scratch list, will just go into your downloads folder. And also don't close this when you're finished. Okay, now you actually have to like import the list. So add whatever your song name is, then right click it and make a new entry under here called whatever the song name was. I don't know what your song name was. I can't read your. Put down the song name in the song list folder, and scroll speed 5 converts to like 3.2 or something, but I'm not gonna use that. I'm gonna use a more reasonable scroll speed. So like 4.7 converts to 3.0 in FNF scroll speed or something like that. It's not a 1-to-1 conversion rate. For this song, I'm just gonna keep the scroll speed the same. The BPM is 250, so put your BPM number here. Then I think it was like 24. And by the way, the Cable extension for the scroll speed, the smaller the number, the faster the scroll speed is. Okay, now you actually have to look for the files for the song. So it's usually mods, assets, songs. Then just look for the song name. Sometimes it works different, but if you're using like a newer FNF song, you just combine everything. But for this one, just ignore the dead voices because I'm not gonna add that feature for a video. Why is the JSON there? Forever Engine is weird. JSONs are usually in assets data or mods assets data. Okay, now name that whatever your song name is underscore int.mp3. You want to use Audacity to combine the audio files together or equivalent program. Just set the quality to standard. It doesn't really need to be crazy high quality because nobody in Scratch is going to be able to notice it. Just don't have it where like bass and stuff is super compressed and not there anymore. Like GW Ola did to whatever the crap the Mario's Madness song, the second one, whatever that one was, Starman Slaughter. Oh yeah, there's also a way to do it on Funkipedia, so let me search that up. So these usually have the songs in it too, if you can't get the actual file. So like, if it lets me press, I can't oh, the download UI is in the wrong place, okay. For some reason Funkipedia, not Funky Friday, puts these as MPEGs. Just remove the MPEG extension. In Windows, there's a specific setting where you can show the extension. If your device doesn't show the extension, turn on that setting to show the extension. It's way helpful, especially if you get like a single image or like a thumbnail or something, and it's a WebP. You can't upload that on Scratch. You have to use a JPEG or PNG. And I already did this, but import the song into the song handler. Okay, now I'm going to import the characters. Actually, only one character. So if your song doesn't have any custom characters, you can skip this step, but I'm gonna use the Funkipedia one for this example. When it has just the poses, it's kind of OP, but I need the like black and white one, so it's not very helpful. Okay, so for Funkipedia, if you get a WebP, go to like easygif.com or something and search up WebP to GIF. Choose the file, import it, see it like plays normally even though it's a WebP. Convert to GIF. Makes it a decent amount bigger, but it's a GIF now. And also you might want to actually name this to like the character name in like left or whatever, but I'm not because I'm gonna use the Spritesheet. I don't remember what it's called, so actually I still have it open. To get the Spritesheet, you usually need to go to Assets, Images, Characters, Oh my god, there's the spooky kids. Then if I can actually find it, I'll be able to import it. Okay, for this one, you have to use madgirl and madgirl.xml. So for your character, just like look for the sprite in the assets images / characters folder. Then go to this website, which is like a GitHub thing. I'm gonna have all the resources linked below. Copy the file directory, put in both the XML and the not XML by using the add Spritesheet button. Add Spritesheet and XML. Then usually this has a bunch of filler assets in it, but I can manage that later. I'm pretty sure you have to press select all for it to actually work. Then you have to have a character name or the zip won't properly do anything. Then generate PNG sequence. I don't know why you would generate XML because the XML is already there. Tell me in the comments why you would actually do that. Maybe so it's like plays as a GIF or something. And since it is a zip file instead of just like a normal folder, I wish there was a way that it would just be a non-compressed normal folder, but you have to extract it like normal. Copy the user directory. Then once you click on the 2-piece sprite or the 1-piece, actually no, just do the 2-piece sprite because I'm not gonna show how to import boyfriend sprites right. Set the custom stage size to 2560 by 1440 so you can upload the sprites at full resolution. Or it usually lets you do it at full resolution. Sometimes it doesn't, but it's way better than having it look all crummy. Okay, it's gonna take a few seconds to import. Okay, finally it's done importing. Once you've imported the costumes, check for any frames that are identical to the last or next ones and delete those frames. This is just so there isn't a bunch of filler in the project. It usually helps with like lag and stuff to remove it. You just might have to do like custom timings or whatever. If the amount of frames in like certain poses are different than the last pose. So like if the down pose is a different amount of frames than the left pose, like in Indie Cross with the one guy with the accents flying around. Okay, and for unused things, just delete them. Okay, I kind of regret not using Funkipedia now, because this is actually taking longer than just using the sprites from Funkipedia. Because it's basically the same process as this, but you only download 5 GIFs. They're usually WebPs, unless you download it on your phone. It works 90% of the time on your phone. So what I usually did was, like, download the stuff off of Funkipedia, put it onto my Discord bot, so I remembered where it was, then just download it on my computer, because those actually give GIFs. Okay, for some reason I didn't say to like, oh yeah, you should probably fix the sprites first. So no, I'm just doing the entries first. Make a new thing in this thing, so just like duplicate this. Then I don't know why I'm having it in all caps. It doesn't matter how it's capitalized. You just have to keep the formatting for your character name consistent or it's not gonna work. Okay, so how many left notes are there? Okay, so under this, you want to have a repeat block. Then just basically divide how many frames there are for each pose. Divide a beat by that, and I think it's like, I'm just gonna do like 1.2 beats. This is totally random. Then make another wait for like 0.1 beats so it doesn't just like end prematurely. Because that has happened and it's really weird. Or I said divided by 20 beats, how many frames it is, but divided by 20. I don't remember which one is more correct. Because for some reason, I've done all these like advancements to the engine, but I have really sketchy stuff with like, oh yeah, they don't actually go to the beat. Okay, so you have to do the same thing with the idle. So just duplicate this entry, keep the formatting the same, idle, then just scroll down to the last one. I think this is also 6 extra frames. I'm gonna do 0.15 for this one because it needs to be slower. It's totally random. It doesn't match up with anything, but I just do that anyway. Okay, then find what the costume number of the last idle pose is. So for this one, it's 98. If your character's poses aren't aligned correctly, use this script, duplicate it so it's positioned correctly, but you have to select for like which aim it is. It's this variable here that checks like what pose it is or whatever, and if it's at 0, it's idle. Then you make like if else, then like go over there. That's just an example, or you can like change the size. 300 was way too big for this character. Or there's another way where you can just like manually change it, which probably stupid, but it could do. So like go to the character sprite, you have to make the stage bigger. Then you just like force the character to go left more or right more by using the, I think it's called onion skidding mechanic by like going on Turbo Warp and then turning this on. It's really helpful. You can change it from light and dark mode, so it's slightly even more helpful. Doing this like the manual way takes a long time, so I'm just gonna like wait 10 minutes. Okay, never mind, that only took like 2.5 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna save this before like anything terrible happens. I'm just gonna name it the song name or the mod name, but like with nothing else. Maybe I should actually name it whatever you want, but usually you should put like F and whatever the mod name is. And if it's only one song, like just name it F and then one song and then the mod name. That's the best SEO for Scratch because it's not like it has a magical algorithm. You just need it to be like properly named. Because it's not like tags actually do anything on Scratch, what my knowledge is anyway. Okay, so now you have to import the icons. They're in the mod/images folder, then after that the icons folder, or the images assets/images/icons folder. Okay, I don't remember what the icon was. Yeah, that's definitely not dad. It's definitely a placeholder. Okay, if you wanted to, you could technically use like the Spritesheet Cutter for this, and also the XMLs are in a weird place that I can't remember. Okay, now reset the project resolution if you did what I did, because it only took like 2 minutes to fix the character sprite. Okay, find the health bar, the original health bar, not health bar 2. I should put this in like stupid folder or something, which I did for like Dave and Bambi Cosmic Calamity, so people is confused, but that mod isn't finished. Okay, now copy the file directory for where the icons are. Put that in, or whatever the icon for your character is. Duplicate it once, then name it the character name. So like that. Okay, this is really close, but you have to basically cut the sprite sheet in half. So for the first icon, make it the first icon, the second icon, cut out the first icon. Then make it like 40 pixels big. Like, the Pico's icon is 41 by 37. You can do bigger, but I don't. It's more realistic to the real game. Okay, for this one, it's 39 by 37. And do not convert these to bitmaps again after you're finished, because it'll look really bad. What is the point of that? This is the same icon. For this one, you're supposed to do the losing icon, so like Pico 2, that's the losing icon. But there is no winning or losing icon, so just keep the same script. Oh yeah, and the reason why you have to name it the exact character name is it won't show up in the menu otherwise. I know only people on Turbo Warp can see that, but I like that feature. It's cool. Because it has to extract the whole file for the chart to know how hard it is and what the characters are. It's probably a more efficient way to do it, but I don't know, and it was kind of simple to do it like that. Okay, next custom stages are important. So you want to go in the wherever the stages are stored. I'm pretty sure it's in like assets, images, backgrounds, or the shared/images folder. And also they're usually on Funkipedia, but half the time they're just like smashed together, so I don't recommend it sometimes. And also for like uploading stages, enable the HD upload extension. Copy the file directory for the stages, then just like import all the things at once. I don't remember how this stage works, so it's probably gonna be fine, but who knows. Okay, turn off onion skidding. Okay, you can actually read that. I thought it was like nonsense, but apparently not. Delete all the things that are like 1 by 1 pixels. I think for this one, you're supposed to have a mosaic. Okay, so I don't have anything set for the specific stage, but if you want to duplicate this script and put it somewhere, you can. Okay, this one has 3 assets, so have it set it to 3. Backgrounds. I don't think it needs to move faster or slower than the foreground. So the H multiplier is like how fast it moves left and right, and the B multiplier is how fast it moves up and down, if I remember correctly. Okay, do the same thing for second one if it has 2 clones or more. Oh yeah, the origin Z is also important, but 170 for this background is fine. At least it should be. You can always change it later. Okay, then the next one is the floor. How big is it? That can be set to 150. Then go to like -50 because it's the floor, so it has to be further down. Yeah, this just sets the X like way lower here. I know it's a weird system. I'm probably gonna work. know how to do a better one. I just haven't implemented it in the actual engine because I haven't been able to do GIFs, and that's the like main thing that's holding me back from actually making it proper. And if it has 3 sprites do the same thing. Okay, foreground is meant to go forward a bunch. So just do that. I'm gonna set the size to like 250. I don't know why you would want this to go slower, but for like the non-foreground stuff, you want it to go at 1, because that's just gonna track with the characters. If it's any slower or faster, it's gonna look weird. Oh yeah, and later explained in the script, if anything in the background is animated, duplicate girlfriend sprite, and basically just like strip everything out of it, except for this part, and like all the positioning stuff, and like, just make it do an idle thing. And that's it. Just make it idle, and that's what the GIF background will do. And also, like, instead of do this, do setup stage countdown, so it doesn't stop working. There's no way I actually said this in the script. Since I can't go through your screen, tinker with the stage settings until they look accurate to the mod. I mean, yeah, that's good, but, like, really? And also, I like that I haven't tried it yet. Okay, do this for the second player and the position of boyfriend. And also make it properly sized. It's kind of obvious now, but like, do that. Oh, that's really low res. Okay. I did not set the 2-player for the song. You might want to do that. Did I not explain how to do the camera? Okay, I didn't. So I should probably do that. I'm just gonna set the stage to the character name, because why not? Okay, so go in the camera sprite, finds the focus P1 thing. I know it says P1, I don't care. I'm not gonna fix that. It's an artifact from old Cavalix engine. I can just set the stage settings to the same thing as corruptions. Okay, the speed goes like how fast it is, so the smaller the number, the faster, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's the smaller the number, the faster. This is the X and Y you want the camera to go to. If it's 1, it's focusing on player 1, so it's usually a positive integer. And for 2, it's usually focusing on player 2, so it's a negative integer. What? That is so wrong. This is not how, yeah, you're supposed. Now I remember, the grid is actually meant to be in the background. Okay, so, remember the whole thing? That's fine, I could just skip to when I'm done. Okay, this totally doesn't look wrong at all, but, I don't care, it's fine. Okay, so if you want to make, like, a 3-play, a 3rd player, just use the GF sprite, and code it how you would, like, a normal 2P, and I don't know why I'm just not calling it an opponent or something. I should probably do that. And just make it appear for like, oh yeah, when this character is this, then show it, or like, if time is smaller than this, and or greater than this and smaller than this, like, make them animate, and if the 2P isn't meant to animate, then don't make them animate with the same kind of code. I don't know why I said that, like, way after. Then you should have tested the song, like, way earlier than that, to just make sure it didn't explode your computer or something. Okay, so if you want to do, like, more fancy stuff, there's a few basic things you can do, which is change the BPM, change characters, stage, scroll speed, or do the event called flashbang, or do HUD transparency. Okay, so if you want to do an event, make it detect what the song is, of course. Then have a header block of when I receive setup stage countdown, then have an if-then, whatever the song name is. Then you actually have to go back to the chart editor to see, like, what the timings are for the actual events. But, like, once you see an event, if you want to copy it down, put a wait until time is greater than, like, whatever the number is. Time variable is like a little stopwatch. This is a placeholder. If that event on the, like, chart thing is natively supported on the Scratch engine, like, if it changes character, does a flashbang or something like that, or has something to do with, like, the overlay, because you can change the color of the flashbang. You just have to do it from the sprite that does the flashbang. Make a new event or whatever. You just put it under this block. So like, if time is greater than 50, broadcast flashbang or change character or whatever. But if like the song length increases midway through, why did it do that? Increases midway through your song, make a thing where it waits until the time is over a certain amount, then make it like repeat certain amount divided by FPS delay, then change the beats before ending by whatever that number is. So like, if the BPM or the beats before ending change takes like 1 second, do repeat 30 divided by FPS delay and change the beats before ending to whatever the beats before ending should change divided by 30. And the FPS delay sprite has like, it's actually another stopwatch. This one's a timer, this one's a stopwatch. Don't ask me why I have like different assets. There's like 5 different timer emojis. Blame the emoji library. It's not my fault that I wanted it to be fancy. It's actually kind of useful having it spread out like this. The images are really helpful. I'm glad I did that. Okay, repeat the last 2 steps I just said for the rest of the song, and the event will be relatively accurate to the mod unless it's not natively supported and you'll have to code it in yourself. But you'll be able to do like camera zooms ins and stuff. You just have to actually code it. And I'm not going to show that because it's going to take way too long. Just like scour through the code of like my bigger FNF projects, like the unbeatable one and stuff. Really helpful. Okay, you can technically do custom mod charts in this version of the engine, but the math for it is not simple, so I don't really know how to do mod charts. But so like, if a certain song has a mod chart, just use this script and like do a forever loop, then put your math thing for like the note X and note Y there. But I don't know the math things very well. You just can do it. So like, if you look at my Alone project, it has like a mod chart where boyfriend's notes go back and forth. This is a mod chart thing. And also for the mod chart thing, the first 4 things are for the 2p, then the last 4 things are for the 1p. I keep getting confused by that for some reason. I don't know how or why. It makes intuitive sense because like, if CN is 7, it's 1p right. If CN is 0, it's 2p left. It's backwards. But it's intuitive. You know it's backwards for most of it. And also, there's no like rotation stuff yet. I should probably code that in, but I just haven't. I might have it coded later because I'm still semi-actively updating the engine. But the most current version of my engine is on a FNF mod I'm making, so that's not going to be implemented in this for a while. Now, if your song has custom notes, add them by replacing the entries about Pico 2, which like over here. Then, so like, Bliss doesn't have any custom notes, ignore that, but just like replace all the entries with that. This takes a little while because you have to like individually do it. And like, look in the list for custom notes. So if you look in here and you see like text that says bullet or something, count how many characters out from like the question mark the number is. So like, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's 16, but that might not be true for all songs. So replace this number with 16 or whatever the number of steps it takes to get to the underscore, to the second underscore, which means like before the time you hold that note and right after what the note actually is. So if it's a 4, it's a 1 player left note. Oh, crap. I forgot to replace, like, actually all of the entries. By the way, if this won't do anything if your song doesn't have any custom notes, or it doesn't have the custom note called bullet. See, it just did it instantly and it did nothing. Oh yeah, and if you want to change, like, what the custom notes are classified as, you can change that, or you could do that, or you could do that. I think it's, like, 1 through 9. I haven't tried to do, like, this or anything. I mean, you can try to do this, do, like, the keyboard smashing. I'm not sure if it works, but if it doesn't, you just have to re-import the list. It's then kind of annoying. Oh yeah, I said in this, like, if your song has multiple custom notes, make sure to categorize them as different. So like, if it has a bullet note and a fire note, have the bullet note be one and the fire note be that, and it will work fine. Okay, so if your custom notes don't actually look like they should, it's confusing as crap. So you can usually find the custom notes on Funkipedia or in a folder that I don't remember where it's in the actual mods file because it jumps around. Tell me in the comments if you know it, because if I will, I'll add a disclaimer to the like description. Okay, to import the custom notes, you just like import them like you would any other image, but make sure it's like about 154 by 157 to be in accordance with the actual notes, or it'll look off. Okay, to make these assets actually show up, find this script. There's like a script that changes the costume of the note. It's not over here. It takes a little while to find, but its header block is when I start as clone. No, it's not the very left column. I think it's like the fourth column to the right. Then like if cn, if floor of cn and not equal cn, make it the custom note. Or if cn contains like 0.001, make it switch to a different costume. So like for a custom note, else plus like 8 or whatever your custom note is. Okay, so for notes you actually need to hit, there's like a little list, not list, but on the very left there's a thing where it actually has the properties. So like if you don't hit it, it does a bunch of damage, and it does like the missing thing, and it checks for the current song name. You can always change it. So if like the CN equals 3 or contains like 0.03, you can make it do a certain thing. It can make it do a bunch of stuff, like whatever you can do with FNF is basically what you can do with with like the notes you need to hit. And the notes that you actually aren't supposed to hit, go under like this list or the add thing, and have a check for if floor of CN not equal CN, or if CN contains 0.003 or whatever the custom note is. Then like instead of doing this script, have an if then else loop that like changes the health or like kills you or something. Again, you can do whatever you want with it. It doesn't really matter, but so it doesn't give you score and stuff, put an if-else loop over this for when the CN isn't the floor of the CN, which means like round it all the way down, even if it's like, oh yeah, the CN is 7.99, it should round up. No, it just goes to 7. Oh, I wrote down that, also now that I'm thinking about it, you could probably make a script that will fling a note into the stratosphere using a custom broadcast in the Modchart feature. If you hit a note you're not supposed to, then it eventually comes down. So a script like that would be like set item whatever the note you hit was, set the Y of it to like 600 or something so you can't see it. Then do like the FPS delay trick that I showed with the changing how long the beats before ending is, so it smoothly goes up, then it like eventually comes down after like 5 seconds or something. Oh, this is literally the end. This is all the stuff I can remember how to do on the top of my head, so this should be about it for this video, and tell me in the comments if you want to know how to do more advanced stuff. Because I could make another tutorial, but I probably won't do it until I find like one of these slump weeks again, where I don't know what to do, like porting-wise or anything. Okay, subscribe and abuse the bell if you want to see more like this. I'm not gonna end the video quite yet because I kind of want to see the show. I kind of want to do the showcase for it. I'm probably gonna die though, so I'm just gonna turn on bot play because I haven't changed the input system yet. Oh, I did that glitch where it's like double input, even though I only have half the input. That makes have to make because the platform Okay, I'm kind of surprised that worked. Well, like I said before, if you want me to make another tutorial video that's more in-depth, subscribe and hit that bell if you want to see that. And of course, I have to fix the thumbnail spray. Maybe I accidentally deleted it. Bye.